Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olson, the Tolkien Professor, joined as always by my friend Gryfflet, who appears to have spent his time since our last session contemplating the wisdom of Lenglammel kneeling next to this really quite odious and radioactive-looking fungus for quite as long as she really has done, apart from the fact that given that she's been kneeling there on one knee just for months and months, as far as Gryfflet can tell, she really can't be doing her patella any good. Really, the bigger concern is, what might be happening internally due to radiation off of this obviously, troublesome fungus. I think I would, it might drop off as, inverse distance squared Lenglammel. So even if you just moved over to there, it would probably significantly reduce your exposure, I gotta think. But then again, and by the way, I never really noticed this before, like the stalk action, right? This fungus, like, what exactly... Okay, so we've got these big spheres and globs, right? And the spheres and globs growing in the midst of these, like, sludgy pods. I'm okay, but these stalks are really fascinating. Of course, they look like, I don't know. Doesn't it look vaguely Palantir-like? Doesn't it look vaguely, this view, of course, it's hard for me not to think of the, the Peter Jackson flaming eyeball on top of Barad-dûr. I don't know if that's kind of what they had in mind, but see, if I had seen this in the middle of, one of the orc camps, I would have suspected. I doubtless have seen it, just didn't notice it. I would have suspected that this was actually artificial, right? That it was handmade, and it looks indeed like a wooden pole with the spikes on the top, so that like they've come along and they've been like, this is the king ball of fungus, and we're gonna we're gonna set this ball of fungus on high above the lesser balls of fungus, and it shall be like our great, radioactive totem fungus. That's what it looks like, right? That this this little like inverse tripod action is like the great fungus holder, but presumably the elves didn't do that. Did they take this over? Or the dwarves? Right? The elves obviously brought their own furniture, right? They brought these chairs with them from Lothlorien, which makes, and this table also, clearly, which matches with it, which makes me really kind of, like, I'm imagining, right, the troop coming, like, when Celeborn sends help down into Moria, several of these fine people coming with, like, these chairs strapped to their backs and stuff, because, like, we have to bring our own chairs. But the table, though, that's really hardcore. They must have had a wagon of some sort. Bring that sucker. And who pulled the wagon? Did they hire goats? Did they borrow goats to haul the wagon on which they brought their elvish map table from Lothlorien? Again, the rest of these things could all have been borrowed and stuff, but that table and chairs, they brought that with them. They obviously did. But then again, who erected the fungus totem? Or does it grow that way naturally? I can't believe that it grows that way naturally. Look at that. That's obviously a wrap, right? Something like cloth or leather, right? Wrapped around to bind together however they've constructed the thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so thank you, Gryfflet, for your observations on the fungus. I hope that you haven't stood here in this close proximity to it. But at least, Lenglammel, you're female, right? What is that doing to your ovaries? Are you still of childbearing elvish years? Seriously. Maybe elves are immune to, like, radioactivity-caused birth defects. They're not subject to disease. Does that count? I don't know. Believe it or not, Tolkien didn't address that, so who knows. But anyway, sorry, Lenglammel. Let's carry on.
I will bring you to Magor, so you may seek out
Okay,
this relic he
you're going to
sought.
bring me to Magor. Okay. Well, Druidsfire, don't tell me you've never been concerned for Lenglammel's safety, right? Come on. This is just like some really basic radioactive fungus, like safety procedures that even elves really should follow. So, I mean, I can't think I'm the only one. But anyhow, okay, let's go find Magor because we have more immediate concerns than the long-term reproductive health of Lenglammel the elf.
The sorceries of Gorothul have set into motion
Right.
an evil that cannot be ignored.
Right.
You have come with Margot
wait, I
into
was
the
not gonna
dark
ignore it.
reaches, and
Right.
must end this threat before it is too late.
Right. I'm going to end the threat because that's what I'm about, Magor. I'm about ending threats. Oh, you've got it. Did you have that snappy helmet before? Because I kind of don't think you did. I don't remember you having this snappy helmet when you were imprisoned. You look like you're fully geared up. Because, you know, you were in jail before, so presumably if you had any snappy gear, they probably confiscated it. But now you have these cunning boots with the slit down the front, right? I mean, that's kind of cool. And your helmet making you really look like you mean business, right? Jauntily only carrying, what, half a dozen arrows in your quiver? Because you're like, who needs more than that, right? There's nothing I can't kill in 6 shots. So it's a good look, Magor. I like it. Okay, here we are, where once we came before. Yeah, I noticed that too. The deepest reaches of Azanarukar. I always have a hard time pronouncing that. I have come here often since we first met. Really, this has become your hangout, right? Right. I was thinking you were thinking building a summer home here, were you, Magor? Let's see. First met, though better equipped than on that adventure. You know, Magor, I was just noticing that. You look great. The Lady of the Wood has given me a great elf stone, and many things have fled before its light. Okay. All right, good. We should be cautious as there were Regmill here before, you right? And I saw them carrying an artifact of great evil. Right, the Gorothul, the lure thing, yeah. You don't see them now, but they are surely not far. Let us proceed, friends, and see what lies before us is in Azanarukar. Okay. Hey, there's only one of me, but I'm right behind you, man. You're going to show me. The only hope of the elf stone given you by way to Gwathnor will be enough to preserve our strength. Me too. Hey, I've got inspiration, though. I'm not afraid of anything. Uh-oh. Where have the Regmill gone? Are these those 2 brothers that I beat up? I think they are. I think this is where they were. Yeah, I think they've gone back to wherever they came from, because I pound... Oh. A Kyrog lies in wait. It's the form of Grobolon. Yeah, I'm going to let you tank him. How does that sound? Well, I probably have to keep you alive, don't I? Yeah, I'm supposed to defend you? So probably letting you tank is actually really not the, like... There we go. Okay, I guess I'll tank him. Oh, I stunned him. Oh, wait. The light of the Elfstone shall weaken this beast? While you said that, I love how he covers his eyes. No! You've thrown sand into my eyes, even though my eyes appear to be made out of mineral substances already. But I don't like it. Okay. But, you know, Grobolon, I don't think you were this lovely shade of pink before. I gotta say, I mean, is it like, Breast Cancer Awareness Month down here in Moria? Like, or down in the subterranean depths beneath Moria where you came from? Because, I mean, if so, that's unexpectedly civically minded of you. Wow. Okay, there we go. He is cast down, and good, my friends. He continues to speak of me in the plural. What is he talking? What, like, is he talking like me and his tapeworm, or what? It's by the way one of my favorite Mark Twain quotes. He says the only 3 people who can speak of themselves in the plural are newspaper editorials, reigning sovereigns, and people with tapeworms. Okay, yep, there's something terrible ahead. Oh, there it is. Yes, the lure thing. Right. It's as we feared. The many forms of Grobolon the Kyrog have been drawn right to the place I can't pronounce. Behold, there's some evil with the beacon of Gorothul. Okay, yeah, shh, all right. Let's sneak. We're sneaking. I'm even better at sneaking than you are. The Kyrig. It is as if they do not see that we're here, and look, the beacon, it glows with a sickening light. Yeah, examine the artifact. Want me to bust it? You examine it. Uh-oh, it's worse than we feared. The Kyrig are magnifying the power of the beacon. Oh no, they beseech Gwathnor to return. We beat him once. Can we beat him again? Quickly destroy the artifact. Okay. I shall strike at the Kyrig when they react to its destruction. Okay. Wave of Dread. Yikes. Gwathnor has returned. Aye. Okay, do I attack him? I think I do. Come over here, you big ugly thing. The light of the Elfstone shall weaken the beast. Oh, good. I can't attack him yet, huh? There we go. All right. Wow. You know, the vapor trail off your swords and, like, coming out of your back, is that your personal fragrance or what? Anyway, looks really lovely. It really does. Okay. Oh, that was easy. Wait, which defeat the forms of Grovelon. Okay. This one? All of them? Just this one. Okay. Is he going to get back up again? I suspect he is. Hi. Yeah, I'll be stabbing you in the back. Oh, dear. Okay, so you're red. The other one was pink. That's good. So are they color-coded? Are the Grovelon, I mean, are they like Power Rangers or something? Hopefully they're not like, you know, it's not like a Voltron situation or something. I wouldn't think so, though. Gwathnor, I mean, he's right there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Glowing with a purple radiance. Or sort of pinkish purple. There we are. Okay. Oh, now you're flaming. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. That's cool. Flee before the... Okay, right. You're elf-stoning him. Good job. Okay, so yeah, I gotta stop using my skills while you're still doing your, you know, in the name of the lady business there. Alright, Gwathnor. You have a lot of morale points, but I am just absolutely trashing you. Okay. Oh, uh-oh. His strength is driven from him and what is placed into the underlings. I thought they were summoning him up. They have this like, ooh, another pink one. This one's even pinker than the other one. This guy's really gone all out for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. My goodness. Anyway, I'm kind of interested in how this is set up because, of course, it makes me think of Melkor and Sauron. You know, it's kind of a. Hey, wait, Magor, do you want to come over here and? Yeah, are you? There you go. The light of the Elf overcoming. I just want to let you monologue there. Okay, now we can make use of our skills here. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's an established thing in the Tolkien world that evil creatures can sort of disperse. Well, okay, powerful creatures can disperse their spirits like into other, can like invest others with their spirits and their powers. Melkor did this all the time. Morgoth did this all the time. Sauron does this. This is why when Sauron has his moment of panic, right, when he recognizes that a highly justified panic, when he realizes that the ring is right there on the cusp of the cracks of doom. He withdraws his spirit from all of his lieutenants and all of his armies, and that's why we're told, you know, that Tolkien says that, you know, his captains suddenly steerless, bereft of will. Whoa, okay, so we got one red and one pink. He just came over to boot me across the room and then left again. All right, Magor, you got to hold your own against that guy. Can we split them up? I'll get this one, then I'll come help you with the other one, okay? Anyway, so Sauron, as I said, was doing this too. And, of course, it weakens the enemies. This is why, you know, Morgoth becomes weaker as time goes on, because he's sent so much of his spirit into his servants, like, you know, the winged dragons that he's developing, and of course the orcs that he is, you know, sort of helping to multiply and be filled with wrath and all that stuff. Okay, we now have our final go against Gwathnor, who's already almost dead. He's like one shot away. Oh, yeah. The servant of shadow and flame is defeated once more. Anyway, point is, this is kind of an interesting sort of reciprocal relationship that it had, right? On the one hand, those forms of were investing their spirit into summoning Gwathnor, like sort of reviving or reconstituting. I don't know exactly what they were doing to Gwathnor, but then Gwatnor's spirit was sort of passing into them. This whole kind of back and forth thing is a little bit weird, but the idea that kind of transfer can happen, right, is a sort of a Tolkienian thing. And this whole idea about Gorothul and his lures is really an interesting one, right? That it's really kind of a cunning plan, because of course we know that there do exist these evil creatures who were, sort of allies of / creatures of Morgoth in his beginning. Near the beginning of the world, which then fled from the Valar and have been hiding in the deep places of the earth. So they're there and they're pretty much free agents at this point, but they kind of still sort of keep to themselves down beneath the earth. So the idea that some bright, sharp-thinking evil person would come along and say, "Hey, yeah, let's actually find a way to draw them up and stir them up in a place which is going to be inconvenient for the good guys." It really makes a lot of sense. But, okay, hey, Maegor, that was great. Yeah, we ended Gwatnor's growing strength and dispersed the forms of Growlin that were drawn to Azanarukar, yes. We have won a short victory, a small respite without the beacon of Gorothul. It will be some time before Gwathnor and his servants can again find the world above. So again, we're not understood to have killed him, just to have driven him back, and it'll be a while before he finds the world above. So he's imprisoned. He's in so. Maegor seems to be imagining what's his name, Gwathnor, to be in some kind of labyrinth-ish sort of thing. Again, it's something more like a prison than a refuge, right? Which fair enough. That could also be. It will not last forever. We do not possess the means of destroying these creatures, lesser spirits though they be. They are beyond our ability. We can hinder them for a time and hope the peace we buy is worth the dangers. I feel it is. Oh, okay. Good, yeah. I think it's worth it too, Maegor. Good has been done here. I am ready to leave. There's nothing to hold us here. We should return to the upper levels where the air is clean. I thought you liked it down here.
From the great heights to
movie.
the deepest depths.
Right.
You sought for and destroyed the relics of Gorothul.
I did.
Delaying for a time his designs on Moria.
That's right.
Now all our eyes must look forward, across the shadowed forest of Mirkwood, to where the hosts of the enemy gather their strength.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We are going to Mirkwood. Yeah, I want to go to Dol Guldur. So I'm in the... Oh, yeah, okay. Hey, Lenglammel. No, you're still... Never mind.
You have sent Gwathnor and Growlin formless into the depths.
Yep.
And not a moment too soon.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, it was inconvenient. I cannot say if this is the last of the relics left by Gorothul and Moria, but we have bought some time at least. As long as Gorothul remains alive, so too does the danger that he may create more such beacons, once again drawing forth Gwathnor or Growlin, and next time we may not find them before they achieve their full level of power. You must go now to Haldir on the flat outside the Golden Wood. Tell him that the dwarves of the Iron Garrison have agreed to bring Mazog to Mirkwood on an indirect route that will not pass through Lothlorien as requested. Tell him, too, that the expedition of the Golden Host must occur with as much haste as can be arranged. Too great a delay, and we may find ourselves hemmed between Dol Guldur on one side and Gwathnor and Growlin reborn on the other. Right. Nobody wants that. So let's head out to Dol Guldur. Right away, that'll be great. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Where did I... It's somewhere in Lothlorien. Let's do that. Okay. Ooh, wow. Okay, see, I haven't heard about this. All right, so this is the... I'm getting a question here from Elvanui, who's... Oh, right, here's where we are. All right, sorry. Let me just catch a quick horse here. Well, slow horse, and then I'll read out the question.
And well met.
Okay, Actually, I'll take the swift horse. All right. People on Twitter are getting excited about the possibility of a new high elf race coming to the game with the Mordor expansion, briefly mentioned in an interview with Game Devs. What are your thoughts? Sorry, I have to resist the temptation of the Orc-Filth. I mean, who doesn't, right? I mean, as soon as you see Orc-Filth, you're probably just as tempted to pick it up as I am. But, well, honestly, my first reaction to this idea is puzzlement. Let me see if I can think this through here. Okay, so a new playable race called High Elves. So, I mean, which means Noldor, right? I mean, when we talk about High Elves, right, the phrase High Elves refers to what in the Silmarillion are called the Calaquendi, right? The Elves of the Light, the elves that have been to Valinor. In other words, it's Noldor who haven't returned back over the sea. That's it. Okay, yeah, no, that's it. Those are the only Calaquendi that are still in Middle-earth. I guess so here's why I'm puzzled. There are two reasons why I'm puzzled. Reason number one, how there just aren't that many of them. Noldor, that is. I mean, they're not totally unknown. As, for instance, when we meet Gildor, right? Gildor is an exile, as he calls himself, right? He's one of the Noldors. Listen to me, he's one of the Noldor. And he says, he doesn't just say I, he says we, right? And if he had just said I am an exile, then it would have been perfectly likely to think that he was the only Noldor in the bunch and the rest of them were Sindar or Sylvan Elves, which we know is quite normal, quite common for, solitary Noldor to be, sort of going about as chieftains among groups of Sindar or Sylvan Elves. But, I mean, that's where, like, Legolas's dad got his job, basically. He's a Sindar, not a Noldor himself, but he's a Sindar among Sylvan Elves. So he's parallel in that sense to Celeborn, who's also a Sindar, though the elves of like this Gwathnor dude who's pacing around the Flet is a Sylvan Elf, as is Haldir and all the rest of these guys. So you've got Sylvan Elves, right, in Lothlorien. Everybody in Lothlorien is a Sylvan Elf with the exception of Celeborn and Galadriel. Right, and everybody in Mirkwood is a Sylvan Elf with the exception of Thranduil, right, and Legolas. So, anyway, as I say, there aren't that many of them, so that's one thing. So if, like, an infinite number of player characters can be High Elves, that strikes me as a little odd. My second piece of puzzlement is, why? And why now? I mean, so assuming they do an expansion, right, for Mordor, which is fine, right? If they do an expansion for Mordor, is there a reason why a High Elf player race would be attached to that update? I mean, like, is there a storyal rationale for that? That's the thing that I'm having the hardest time kind of wrapping my own brain about. Now, I mean, I'm not trying to knock it. Like, my faith in the Lotro developers is really high. So, I'm not going to just like sit around and be skeptical and poo-poo it before I hear the story and, how they do it. I just myself don't immediately see the obvious relevance, right? It's not like the High Elves come into the story at that point with Mordor, right? Yeah. I don't know. It does seem to me a little bit. I can't. So for those two reasons, like, A, the High Elves are supposed to be real scarce. and B, they're supposed to, like, I don't see where they would come in or how it would be incorporated in the story. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be incorporated in the story, right? I mean, after all, like, the addition of the Bjornings wasn't exactly incorporated into the story. But of course, here's the other thing. Calaquendi are way overpowered, in a sense, right? I mean, remember Glorfindel at the fords of Bruinen, right? Frodo in his quasi-wraithified state, right, from his wound, looks across the river and he sees the shining figure of white light, right? And Gandalf tells him that he was seeing Glorfindel for a moment as he is on the other side, right? Because the elves, the high elves, the elves that have seen the light of Valinor, exist at once in both worlds. That is, the regular mortal world and also in the Wraith world. There's something fundamentally different about them. So they're well, not to make a joke on the name of the news outlet from which I think some part of this story seems to be coming from, things I briefly saw over on the chat screen. They're massively overpowered. The Calaquendi, the High Elves. So is that going to be reflected? And if so, how? Is it going to be a race that you can't start at level 1? That would be kind of interesting. I mean, if it's a race that starts at level 100 or something like that, a sort of a specialist race, that would seem to kind of fit. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, I'm not saying I don't think it would be cool. I'm not saying I don't think it would work. I just those are the questions that I would be most interested in trying to answer. Trying to kind of figure out myself when and if they actually release that. So, yeah, cool. All right, that's very interesting. I had not heard that, and it is. Yeah, that's very interesting. Hey, Haldir.
I will see you again when the time has come.
Right. Okay, so, yeah, the time has come now, Haldir. That's why you are seeing me again. We are readying to leave as quickly as we are able, but the preparations of the Golden Host cannot be hurried over much, lest we doom its mission to failure. Okay, right, no rush. It will take some time for the dwarves to bring Mazog to the edge of Mirkwood, especially since you're making them go around, yes, indeed, and that will allow all the necessary preparations to be made. Oh, let me guess, you need help with your preparations, don't you, Haldir? I hope you are ready when that time... I'm ready now, let's go, man. Both the dwarves of the Iron Garrison and the elves of Lothlorien will rely on your courage and ability. Well, I appreciate your saying that. I hope, too, that this expedition is not a mistake. Me too, yeah. I think it is. As I've said before, I think it's based on an entirely false assumption, which the dwarves, and especially Broen, seem to be making unthinkingly. But that's okay. It's been a long time since the forest bore the name Greenwood the Great. Oh, that's your aspiration, is it? I will see you again, Gryfflet, when the time has come. Okay. Oh, right, yeah. Can I have some leggings of accord? How do those look? Okay. All right. A little bit less agility, a little bit less most things, but okay. Because I think I got a bunch of accord stuff, don't I? Don't I have like gloves of accord? Yeah, yes I do. Let's equip those and those. And didn't I get another accord thing? The helmet? Is that a helmet of accord? Yes it is. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Okay. All right, Haldir. Was that it? Book. We're finally on book 9? Is that where we are? Did I just finish book 8? Finished book 8 and didn't even notice? What does it say with the thing I completed? Oh, well. Okay. It's taken a great while, but at last the preparations are complete. Oh! What? Haldir? Are you saying you're not going to send me out on errands? What is this? What is this? I mean, wow, I guess the elves are an advanced culture and they don't even need my help running around and filing things. And I was ready to file and sort again. I've got experience, right? I mean, ask the Dunedain of not Ered Luin, of Evendim, right? I mean, I'm good at it. Okay. The Melethrim, the golden host of Lothlorien, are now ready to cross the river Anduin and assail the forces of Dol Guldur. Okay. You don't know yet the specifics of the plan, friend burglar, but it seems the Golden Host is to have two objectives. To bring battle to the enemy in Dol Guldur at a time of our choosing, before he can attack the woods of Lothlorien in force. And to exchange Mazog, the prisoner of the Iron Garrison, for the captives in the dungeons of Dol Guldur. Okay, so we're doing a preemptive strike at Dol Guldur. That's bold, man. I like it. And then the exchange of Mazog, which I don't like and I think is dumb. Okay, your aid has been requested for both of these aims. No problem. Go now to Imlad Lalaith on the shores of the Anduin and speak to Bryglin there. He will recount to you details of each plan. Okay, we'll do that. Very good. Okay. Excellent. Let's... I forget which stable masters I have. Have I been to Imlad Lalaith yet? Oh, whatever. Let's just ride there. Okay. Oh, hi, Kiriana. Yep, I'm good so far. Haven't been attacked by any wild animals. Alright, so we're just going to go along. I'm going to just go along the south bank here. That'll be fine. No, I've been to Karen Amroth. I can't even remember if Gryfflet has been to Imlad Lalaith, but in any case, we'll head down this way. Okay, so another question. Fruka asks, humans, elves, and dwarves have a king. What about hobbits? Do they have a king? They do not have a king. The hobbits are sort of interesting, right? Okay, so the hobbits are essentially in a monarchy. That is to say, the hobbits of the Shire still officially recognize the... I wonder which lady rests here. I forgot. It's... is this the Nimmerdale statue again? Excuse me, are you looking at a butterfly in your hand? Yes, you are. I think that makes you Nimmerdale. Okay. Just checking. Right, so, kings. So the hobbits of the Shire officially recognize the sovereignty of the King of Arnor. So when the kings in the north, not those kings in the north, the other ones, when the kings of the North Kingdom, when the kings of Arnor were around, the hobbits of the Shire officially held themselves to be citizens of the Arnor, of the North Kingdom, and therefore under the sovereignty of the king. And they were under this sort of the immediate rule of the Thane, which means, of course, that he's like the Thane underneath. You know, he's one of the his title means that, you know, Thane means like he's like one of the captains, one of the soldiers of the king. So Thane is in that sense a sort of a delegated position, right? You know, he's sort of the Thane underneath the king. However, the let's see, where are we now? All right, there's Brian Karas Galathon. Hang on, let me see if I've introduced myself to this stable master. If not, I should when I run by. So they don't have their own king because, again, because they recognize the sovereignty of the King of Arnor, and still retain that loyalty, even though the king is gone and has been gone for some time. So basically, in the years after the Kingdom of Arnor fell, I want to go back over here so I can stop by the other. As long as I'm opening stable masters, might as well do them all. Did you notice me not fall off that bridge? I just went straight across and I didn't fall off. I'm just saying. Don't want to brag, right? I'm just pointing it out. Want to make sure you noticed. they, as I said, okay, so they still recognize the king, and the Thane was therefore the official sort of position of authority. But over time, the authority of the Thane, the practical authority of the Thane, waned. That is to say, the Thane ceased to have any actual power on a day-to-day basis in the Shire. Mostly because there was like nothing for him to do. I mean, the hobbits are very peaceful, and they all seem to just kind of generally get along. I mean, you know, except for like giving each other prank gifts and that kind of thing. But I mean, in general, they move along pretty well. The other figure of authority, of course, in the Shire is the mayor, you know, the mayor of Mickle Delving, who is also called the mayor of the Shire. And that's an elected position. So the hobbits have this sort of dual system where there's an official hereditary Thane, and they also have an elected official, the mayor. And the mayor's job is to preside at feasts, right? There's really not that much else that the mayor does, right? He doesn't kind of rule exactly. Oh, it's the drunken elves. I've come to Imlad Lalaith in the evening, and so I get the drunken elves. Hang on, I'll talk about the drunken elves in a minute. But just to finish my train of thought here, the Thane is still around, but he doesn't really act. He doesn't really do anything. It's just sort of a nominal title in a sense. Over time, it has ceased to be used. They decided to appoint a mayor because apparently they wanted somebody to preside at feasts, but he doesn't really do that much either. Remember the line that it's Farmer Cotton tells it to the four hobbits when they return, right before during the scouring, when he's recounting the events that led up to the influx of ruffians and stuff, and that is that Lotho, right, he appoints himself Chief Sheriff, right, and is then called Chief. And remember, Farmer Cotton says about Pippin, he says, your dad, Pippin, right, he never had no truck with this Lotho from the beginning, right? And he says, and this is the line that I think is especially interesting when thinking about the political situation of the Shire. He says, if anybody's going to play the chief at this time of day, it's going to be the right Thane of the Shire and not some upstart, right? So you can see how that plays in, right? You know, he's saying, okay, look, dude, Lotho, we have an official political structure here, right? If you're suggesting that there needs to be stronger, firmer, more centralized leadership of the Shire, we have it, right? And if that's what needs to, right, if somebody's going to play the chief at this time of day, right, if at this stage in like Shire culture we feel that we need a monarch figure, it ain't going to be you, right? It's going to be there's still a Thane, and it's kind of me, and I'm not going to have this, right? I'm not going to have some upstart appointing himself chief. So we have basically this sort of third pole arising, right? The mayor and the Thane, who have always apparently sort of lived in harmony, right? There's never been any conflict between the elected mayor and the hereditary Thane. But when Lotho arrives in the middle as this chief, right, he threatens both. Indeed, he disregards the Thane and he throws the mayor into prison, right? So indeed, he tries to supplant the entire order itself. So the Shire is interesting. You know, they don't recognize a lord. They don't really recognize a lord or king of their own. They don't need to even really follow a central leader most of the time. The predominant government structure of the Shire is anarchy. Just everybody kind of taking care of their own business, basically, is pretty much how it works. It's kind of a clan-based thing too. I mean, that is, we know that the the heads of the family, each of the families in the Shire has a head of the family, which who has a fair amount of authority over the rest of the family. So the Took may or may not be, obeyed by hobbits across the Shire, but he will be obeyed by the Tooks, right? That's something that will definitely happen, and that's true of others, of the Boffins and the Bolgers, and there will be somebody who is the head of that family. So in a sense, that's really on a practical basis, like if you've got a grievance, right, and you've got to take it to somebody, if it's within the family, it would be to the head of your family that you take it. If it's, between two families, maybe it goes to the mayor, maybe it goes to the Thane. There doesn't really seem to be we don't know that there are courts, right? We know there are solicitors, who do things like run auctions and help draft wills, but we don't know that there are barristers, right? That there are courtroom attorneys. I don't know that we get courtroom drama in the Shire. I can't think offhand of any evidence on that question. But anyway, I seem to have a quest for you. Oh, I'm supposed to give you flowers.
What brings you to Lorien?
Yeah. Hey, you're welcome. Okay. Right. I totally forgot I was supposed to bring you flowers. So, let's see. Whom am I talking to? I can't even remember. Oh, right. The person in the gazebo. Okay. All right. Excuse me, people. Pardon me. Seriously. Lady, is this the elvish idea of revelry? Well, this lady looks like a really morose drunk, I have to say. The rest of them look a little more cheerful. I mean, look at them dancing over there. Oh, man. Gosh. Makes me feel bad. Did you see her down there? She really looks like she could use a friend. I'm just telling you. But you guys are busy. Never mind. Hi, Braglin. Whoa.
I had begun to wonder if you would not wish to be part of the first crossing.
Nice mask. You had begun to wonder if I would not wish. I would wish. Is that what you were wondering? You were wondering if I wouldn't wish it? I don't not wish it. Oh, wait, I'm confused. You're pleased to see this is not so. wait. Coming again. Hang on. I gotta keep track of my negative. This makes me long for Middle English. Of course, as those of you who have taken Middle English know, in Middle English, double negatives are much easier because when you use more negatives, it's like if you use a double negative in Middle English, it just makes your statement twice as negative as it would have been before. So if you say like I don't not wish to go, that just means like I do not times 2 wish to go. I super really don't want it. And it's really simpler. So you just use them as intensifiers. So you can use like 3, 4 negatives, and it's much cooler. But anyway, okay, let's. I'll keep. So I see you, the River Anduin. Yes, I do see it. If I start staring at it, I'm going to stare at it for a long time because I find it completely mesmerizing. But it is a very large river immediately behind you. So I did in fact spot it. Is that a little jab at my non-elvish senses? Okay, its currents are strong, though this be a calm enough place to cross, and once we land on the far shore, we will need to be ready for anything. The landing may be uneventful, but then it may be tumultuous indeed. It will be up to Fuirgam on the other side of Anduin to ensure that all goes smoothly as it may. Once we are secure on the beaches, I will arrange for a second crossing to bring the company that will escort our prisoner to Dol Guldur. Are you ready to travel upon the first boats across? Speak with Kalingoth down at the docks if you are ready. Okay. I will do that. Hey, cheer up, lady. It's okay. It's okay. Can I do the Drunken Elves quest?
If you have a moment,
Nah.
I have need of
No,
your
I don't want to
assistance.
meditate. I want to talk to Drunken Elves.
Hail, stranger. If you are rested, I have a request of you.
But maybe I don't have time to speak to Drunken Elves. I'll just listen to them. So, this is where I have to figure out which elves are drunk and which ones are not drunk, and you're supposed to, like, chide the elves that are drunk. You know, supposed to scold them and stuff to, like, show a little more decorum. And so you have to just be able to tell by the things that they say whether they're drunk or sober. I think this is a real song. Let's see what's. I don't know if I can blend in. I'm not as good a dancer as you guys. Some of the things they say. Let's see. The light of the lanterns brings hope against the gloom of the coming darkness. Galahir is an artist. That seems sober enough. Ice Brenny's buried pies? Wait, what? A toast to the walls of Moria and the rays of Khazad-dûm. Okay, that is not good. May peace come again between the Galadriel and Durin's yoke. I think that elf is tipsy. That's definitely a tipsy elf. A toast to the fall of Moria and the rise of Khazad-dûm. May peace come again between the Galathrim and Durin's folk. That's what you meant to say. The boarflank snakes are quite inedible. Halton has outdid himself this time. I don't think that's what you mean to say. Probably steaks, not snakes. You're probably not eating snakes. I love how this guy can't even say the name. Laura Limborenian. Yes, Laura Lindorinen. Man, if you that's a. I really like that joke that when they're drunk, even the elves can't pronounce the name of their forest. Of course, you see Lotro taking a stand on the post-movie controversial question of do elves become intoxicated? The answer, of course, is yes. I never liked that part of the Lord of the Rings movie. When Legolas and Gimli have their drinking contest and Legolas is like totally immune to alcohol. It always seemed to me a little bit. Oh wait, where's Kalangoth? It always seemed to me not only silly but short-sighted, as indeed the drunkenness of elves, indeed the drunkenness of Mirkwood elves, is a plot feature in the story. Of course, the steward. Where is he? Is this not his boat? All these trainers. Okay. I'm south. All right. I'll just head south. Should I swim to his boat? Do I just hop in? Just board the boat. Oh, there's Kalangoth. Right there. I missed him because he didn't have a ring over his head. Okay, hey there.
What business have you with the Lord and Lady?
I'm ready to cross. Yeah. All right, let's go. I'll be the first hobbit off the boat. All right, here we are. I love the leaves. Right? The floor carpeted by years worth of fallen leaves. Oh, that's great. Okay, so I'm supposed to talk to whom? Fuirgam. Here he is. All right, Fuirgam. I'm supposed to... Oh, yeah, we're lining up. Okay. I'm lining up. Here we are. Oh, this is the captain roll call? Do I get to stand in the front row? Hey, sorry, can I interrupt?
Will you lend me your ear?
Yeah. Okay, there are a pair of orc fortifications defending the banks of the Anduin. One which they call Durburstag lies immediately to our north, the other Falug a bit further to the south. One of our first objectives here is to eliminate these two fortifications. Okay. Which ones do I have to do? I mean, you know, my completionist soul wants to do all the quests, but I don't actually have time to do absolutely everything. Okay. One of our first objectives here is to eliminate these two fortifications so that our landing... Right. I need you to bolster our forces. Right, okay, bolster. Choose one of them to assault. Right? No, I can't be in two places at once. Take its gate and hold it for as long as you can. We will send reinforcements as soon as possible. Okay. Take the gate of an... So do I have to do all the forward quests? Is that the story? I was told to help him, so presumably.
Will you lend me your ear?
Okay, the battle is well underway, but time is not on our side, and we must hasten the defeat of our foe by any means. The orcs and goblins here in the Murk-Eves are driven by Uruk warlords who drive them into battle. Without these strong leaders to threaten and lead them into the battle, the rest will fall aside in disarray and fear our strength. Take the battle to any of the Uruks whom you should encounter. Each one you defeat shall mean a swifter victory for us all. Okay, just to kill 2 Taurash war leaders. Okay. And...
Mind my words, traveler.
Okay. The battle goes well, but the orcs in the nearby fortresses are proving tenacious. It seems they have also laid in supplies for a prolonged siege, should it come to that, but we cannot afford to be tied down here for so long, or the might of Dol Guldur shall push us back into the Anduin. I bid you fight your way into those camps and destroy their supplies. This will weaken their defense and ensure that none of them are able to retreat with valuable stores back into their dark tower. Okay. All right. I think I can do all 3 of those in one swoop. So let's do that. Let's see. Which one do we want to go to? Let's go north. Okay. See, thinking about the drunk elves business, right? It seems to me, frankly, as if let's see. Right? Okay. It seems to me as if Peter Jackson and company really sort of fell prey to kind of a classic blunder right there. That is the desire to emphasize the awesomeness of the elves, right? We want to show that elves are different from humans, right? That they are in some sense or senses, you know, sort of superior, even physiologically superior to elves. This is also why we get into like the whole, like, you know, elf as crazy ninja warrior thing, you know, in the movies. But and it's fine, you know. I'm fine with it. Okay, here we are. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to hold the gate. I've taken the gate. Hooray! Okay. I'm defending the gate. I should say we. Weird. Who are you fighting over here? A goblin? I don't know if that counts even as defending the gate. Okay. I'm in the gate. Wait. Hey. Don't attack this guy. Oh, you guys are warriors. Excuse me, could you point me to your ward leaders? That would be handy. I need to kill a few of them. A couple. Just 2. Was that a ward leader? No, it's a rider. Never mind. Meanwhile, let's look at the cosmetic structure of these orcs. Would you stand up? I'm looking for the... Hey, get back to the gate. We got to defend it. Don't surrender the gate. What would constitute surrender of the gate? If they kill me? Shall we make a wall of bodies before the gate? Are they still after this goblin hurler? Come on, boy. Guys, focus. We're defending the gates. Let's see. Ah, you're going with the whole one shoulder defense, huh? Right? Well, at least it's on your left shoulder, right? So you're anticipating that, like, but you'd be surprised if I was like, but I am not right-handed, right? So you're assuming, right, that your enemies are going to be chiefly right-handed, which is rash, frankly. But, you know, I guess you play the averages. So is that a battle standard? I think it is. That's not a weapon. Okay, I've only got 41 more seconds in which not to surrender the gate. Which is good, I guess. Again, I'm assuming. Alright, yep. Stay on the gate, guys. Hey, where's the third guy? Did somebody kill him? No, he's down there. Alright. Here we are. Defending the gate. Against all... Ah, yeah, that's right. Oh, no you don't. I've got my backup Melethrim soldiers here. Melethrim soldiers here. Okay. Alright. We did it. Very good. Wait, who's attacking me? Oh, a hurler. Whoa, sorry. What's on your back? Is that a spiky turtle shell on your back? Because that's really cute. Are you going to turn around and, like, run into me backwards? It's a quaint idea. All right. You guys got this. I gotta look around for war leaders and supplies. Can I get over this way? No, I can't. All right. Fine. Okay. I am sneaking. Okay, here we go. Into the... There we go. Got some supply crates going on here. All right. How many do I need to destroy? 8. Okay. Haha. Okay. Cool. So, war leaders must be around in the back. They always keep their war leaders in the back. And I got another supply crate here. Good job, Gryfflet. This is going swimmingly. Are there even 8 supply crates in here? Where are the rest of your supply crates? Why would they set this up? It's a little bit strange, isn't it? To sort of have this labyrinth of interior walls in their own camp. I mean, that's pretty inconvenient, really. I mean, if you were expecting, I guess, to be attacked, you could use them as choke points or something, but it just seems a little strange. Okay. No problem. 3 and 4. Still met war leader number 1, however. Oh, there's another supply crate over here. Okay. All right. Aerocab, that's an interesting question. Oh, come on, you annoying... Look, Goblin Hurler, I like turned my head for a second to look at Arrowhead's interesting question, and like you run away and start throwing things at me from a distance. That is no way to behave. Erocab is asking, in light of the movie critiques, what was your favorite interpretive decision made by the movie crew? That's a great question. I love that question because I don't like complaining all the time, and it's too easy to get nitpicky, right? And it's what I find. See, for me, it's the tricky things about the movies, is that with the Lord of the Rings movies in particular, I find it very easy to be critical of small things, but the big things were really good. I mean, I can find an almost infinite list of things to complain about. If I want a list of things to complain about, a list of things that they screwed up and that I don't like, I can find that. Oh wait, I only need 2 more crates, and I have to kill 2 war leaders, but there's only the one. Does he have a friend? Anyway, yeah. So, like I said, it's possible to nitpick almost indefinitely, and I can always find things that I dislike when I look down at details. When I'm really zoomed in and focused in, there's lots of things that I think lots of ways in which they depart, not only just from the letter, but from the spirit of the text. But when I think about the big picture, when I think about, the overall sort of theme and story of the films, when I kind of just sit back and watch the films as a whole, I think they're really good. I mean, I think they're certainly good movies, and that they, in general, do a really good job. It's just, do I just have to wait for him to respawn? I guess that'd be the easiest thing to do. We'll just hang out here. He'll respawn eventually. But anyway, okay. My favorite interpretive decision. Well, this is a little bit of a cop-out, perhaps, but I guess the main thing that I would say, the number one thing I always say, and have always said, the thing that I think that, there he is, that didn't take him long at all. The thing that I think they've always done well is the visuals. John Howe and Alan Lee were brilliant in the planning process of those films, and it was brilliant to bring them in to do those films. In particular, I would point to the landscapes. I think that the landscapes and scenery, I very distinctly remember being in the theater, for the first time, and whenever they would sort of go to a new place, I would just be like, it's perfect. This is just perfect. And it's, for me, that's sort of the hardest thing to get. You can nitpick details and, dislike individual things, but to me, the way that they, here I am being attacked. It's okay, Mothram Soldier. Don't worry. You don't have to participate or anything. You can just walk on by. I got him. It's all good. So anyway, yeah, I just so many of the sets, so many of the scenes, like them when we see Rivendell when we see the Shire, right, for the first time, and the hill, when we see Bag End, right, when we see Rivendell, just like the Valley of Rivendell, even when we see Eregion, right? I remember, saying this when we saw Eregion for the first time. Oh wait, there is a stable master here, but he's not here yet. Okay, never mind. All right, it's a skirmisher chasing me. Yeah, do you want to chase me up amidst all the captains? Huh? I didn't think so. If we were gone. So yeah, so many of the visuals, they just nailed it.
Megovanen.
Okay. Good. Yeah, now that the enemy is pinned within those fortifications, we can work on destroying them. Okay? I'm happy to... Ooh. 20,000 rep? What was that for?
What do you need?
No problem. Happy to help with that. And good. All right, what's next? Oh, 3 more. Okay, let's see.
Might you spare a moment of your
Must
time?
ensure that the commanders in Dol Guldur cannot get reinforcements into the Merkeaves during our assault upon the fortress. Any large number of troops would have to come through the Gostanon, the gate upon the road that leads to the east. The orcs still control it, but I am certain that we will soon capture it. For the moment, you need me to see that the gate is made useless to them. Try to jam the mechanism by which it is raised and lowered. It will not slow them down for long, but by then our assault will be complete and the Merkeaves will be ours. A cunning plan, Fuirgam.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
We're nearly ready for a decisive assault upon Amon Anganed. But my men, not your friends, my pals have warned me that a set of siege engines lies in wait, looking up the steep paths that we must scale to take the fortress. To muster an assault under the reign of such dark engines would result in needless death and might even cause our assault to falter. Okay, destroy the ballistae and catapults. Can do. And
Might you spare a moment of your time?
the riders. Yeah. You're being harried by the warg riders. Okay. All right, hunt down warg riders, jam the gate mechanism, and destroy the catapults and ballistae. All right, will do. Let's see if we can get through the Merkeaves introduction today. That'd be great. Okay, we got a goblin runner. Well, we had a goblin runner. Guy seems to have taken care of the goblin runner. Oh, I need him. So yeah, Erocheb, I'm sorry if that seems like a kind of cop-out-ish sort of answer to your question. Like, it's not a specific thing, it's not a specific moment, but it really is my favorite element. There's so many things and it's easy to underrate it. You know, I mean, it's one of the biggest things, you know, in doing a visual adaptation is, you know, how do you make real these scenes? And in particular, again, the landscapes might seem like a small thing, and again, in some ways, compared to many other kind of bigger conceptual issues. But again, Tolkien, that was Tolkien's primary focus himself. He loved landscape. That's why there's so much landscape description in The Lord of the Rings. He pictured these things in his head really clearly. I don't know if the sets and things that Peter Jackson made exactly match Tolkien's own vision and how he envisioned the thing. But I mean, it certainly worked for me in most cases. There's, of course, one major exception to this, and that's Rohan. You know, that Rohan really is described like open prairie, and there's just not open prairie in New Zealand, so they weren't able to use that. So that, you know, the sort of like hilly sort of steppe country that they filmed the Rohan stuff in doesn't really fit my vision, my own internal vision of Rohan. But again, apart from that, really they did very well. Okay, I'm supposed to jam this mechanism, but I'm afraid that means that I'm going to have to get rid of you, sir. Let's see. Feargrim says, favorite on the landscape theme, the zoom out as Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli dash off on foot to pursue the Uruk-hai and rescue Merry and Pippin. Yeah, I mean, again, that's like the Rohan thing, so that, I mean, I have to admit I was distracted by that. I mean, it's beautiful country, and I really like it. But so much of it is like the Emyn Muil was perfect. Lothlorien is great. I don't want to complain. There's so many things to love about it. I want to emphasize just the one thing I didn't like. I loved Gondor. I loved Ithilien. I just thought they did a great job with so much of it. As I say, especially the landscape. And the sets. Again, I don't just mean the natural landscape. I like the vast majority of the sets that they designed. They really seemed to me to nail most of it. I mean, I loved Moria. I loved Lothlorien. I loved. There you are. I love Bag End. I like Rivendell. So yeah, it's in my mind that's by far the biggest strength, and the storytelling taken on its own. When you start nitpicking, when you start asking like, but is it the same? It's not the same story as the story that Tolkien was telling. But that's okay. It's not meant to be. It's an adaptation. It's Peter Jackson's story. And Peter Jackson's story is an interesting story and a good story. That is, I say that of The Lord of the Rings, even though I believe in many ways they were trying much harder to stick with the books and with Tolkien's ideas in the Hobbit movies. That might sound strange for me to say, but I still believe that's true. I would still say that of the Hobbit films. Nevertheless, it just doesn't work as well. I mean, there's not... the story that Peter Jackson tells is not a very successful story. It doesn't hold together well. It's not satisfying in the Hobbit films. Whereas in the Lord of the Rings, even where it differs sort of puzzlingly from Tolkien's story, it still, works. It still fits and is really interesting. So, anyway, let's see. We're doing catapults and ballistae. There are a few of the riders here in the camp. That's handy. He's going to send me back here just to kill a bunch of these orcs again that I already killed, isn't he? I dislike that when that happens. When Gryfflet destroys a catapult, he really destroys a catapult. First, I pour gasoline on it, then I set it on fire. I mean, I really don't see how without incendiaries I'm going to make a catapult do this. Fragments of the catapult go flying. All right, what do I need? Another ballista up the hill. Where am I in combat? Who's that guy? Oh, okay. Didn't see you over here. Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of episodes. I'm trying to think of episodes in the films that I really, really liked their adaptation of. I liked the Balrog scene, wings and all, right? The Balrog scene worked really well in the films. Oh wait, there's another rider down there. Wait, isn't the ballista up there? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh man, would you get over here? Just came from there. Stupid warg rider. Where are you going even? Okay. In general, I like the Chamber of Mizarbo scene. I mean, I don't mind long action sequences, so it was okay. But the way they handled the "we cannot get out" thing, I thought worked pretty well, and I generally liked it. What else? What else would I say? Although I don't like what comes after it, I really liked Henneth Anun and the Forbidden Pool. I really did like that. Let's see. Okay, war leader, warriors. riders. Okay. So I've got everything now but the riders. Any more riders? Looking around for wargs. Don't see any. There was another one over here. Did he regen while I was doing the rest of the camp? Don't see him. Okay. Oh, there he is. There he is. Come on, there you go. Thank you for walking right past my ambush spot. That was very thoughtful. I saw... Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Sorry, I accidentally hit auto-target, which makes me distinctly seasick. Okay. I was distracted from the final blows against that rider there for a second. Yeah. So I think that's... I hope that's enough of an answer to the question. You know, the question, can I say positive things about the films? I totally can say positive things about the films. Yeah, all right. So, right, I need 3 more Warg Riders. Getting close to time, but I think I can find 3 more Warg Riders. But you're probably, what's his name? Fuirgam is probably going to send me on a 3rd round of quests, I'm guessing, which I'll probably have to put off till next time. All right, well, while I'm hunting for Warg Riders, let me give an update on sort of where we are in the Exploring the Lord of the Rings class. We had another really fun session on Tuesday when we actually did finish Chapter 1, right? So now after 3 weeks of study, we're done with the first chapter. So this is pretty much the pace I was expecting to be maintaining. I don't expect to speed up very soon. There'll be some chapters that we'll probably do in under 3 weeks. But this really is not in any way an unusual approach. So it was great fun. We did so what we did on Tuesday, of course, was to go through the scene between Gandalf and Bilbo as Bilbo was giving up the ring, and that was really fun. I'd never really looked at that scene so closely before. Oh, I passed you. Excuse me. Yeah. So that was good. Next week, what this means, we're actually going to move to Chapter 2. And we're going to be on the Gladden server as well. So this will be my first trip to Gladden, which I'm looking forward to. So we're going to be on Gladden. We're going to talk about Chapter 2. And I think what I'm going to focus on is the stuff, especially in the early part of the chapter, when we sort of get to see like the next generation, essentially, of Shire hobbits and their own thoughts and attitudes. I'm really interested in that progression. I love the fact that we get this. I love the fact that we get this generational thing, right, with Sandyman and the Gaffer in Chapter 1, right, in the conversation they have in the Ivy Bush, and then Sam Gamgee and Ted Sandyman having their debate in the Green Dragon down in Bywater in Chapter 2. And the parallel between those two is to me really interesting, and it really shows you both the similarities and the differences between how things were, previously in the old days, right, like Bilbo's days, and then how things have changed in the Shire in the last 17 years, right, since Bilbo's unexpected party. So that's going to be our primary focus. We're going to spend a fair bit of time on that conversation between Sam and Ted, and we're going to look at Frodo and what's kind of going on with Frodo in in those years after Bilbo leaves, where he sort of gets to and why he gets there before his conversation with Gandalf. We probably won't do much of the conversation between Gandalf and Frodo, where he actually tells him the story and tells him about the ring and all that. But that will probably start the next time. Yeah, it's going to take at least 3 weeks to get through Chapter 2, no question.
Mego Vanel.
Okay, no problem. Yep, jammed the gates. Check. Destroyed the engines explosively. Check. And
What can I do for you?
got the riders. Check.
Stay
Okay,
a
wait.
moment.
Talk to him when I'm ready to begin the assault. Okay, maybe we'll assault next time. Nah. Let's assault now. Okay. Yeah, I'll join you. Let's go. Woohoo!
The Golden Host is preparing to bring the first act of their invasion on Mirkwood to a close with an all-out assault upon the hill overlooking the landing.
All right, an all-out assault. That's what I'm all about. Hey, can I have a snack? Do you mind if I have a little snack? Can I have some cram here? Right, gonna have some roasted carp. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. Think, hey, I'll even use some ancient battle lore scrolls, because, like, why not, right? And yeah, let's do this, Firgam. Now is the time. I agree. We're storming the mountain. Forward! I'm right with you. Alright, I will come and attack the archers from behind. That seems like a likely thing for my burglarious self to undertake. Okay. Okay, Fuirga must survive. Wrong way, guys. Uphill is this way. Okay, that's good. Yeah, usually you can tell when you're running downhill and when you're running uphill. Okay, here we go again. Alright. I got your back here, Fuirgam. Okay. Man, the first time I did this instance... No, the last time I did this instance. When I did this instance with my Runekeeper, I got to, like, the very end of the final boss, and then Fuirgam died. It was so sad. Hey! Oh, wow. A war troll. Okay, I probably shouldn't just let you pound on Fuirgam then, huh? Oof. So have you pound on me instead. I'm gonna stun you if it's all the same to you, Mr. Troll. That's right, don't hold back, guys, over there. Keep it coming at this guy. Okay. Woohoo! Okay, so this hill is like a strategic position, right? Overlooking the... Clear the courtyard! Let none escape our wrath. Wait, that's what we're doing here? We're just, like, exercising our wrath? We're venting? This is wrath venting? I thought this was, like, strategy. Right? I mean, I guess, you know, I mean, if you've built up some wrath, you've built up some wrath. But, still, you know, I don't know. I like the idea of the proactive assault upon Dol Guldur, though. I am a fan of this move by the Elves of the Golden Wood. Because again, see, one of the risks, one of the dangers, in fact, really one of the perfectly valid criticisms of the elves in general, and the elves of the Lothlorien in particular, is that they. Oh wait, we're going this way, guys. Okay. Let none bar a path to the vile Uruk who is in charge. Okay, no problem. Is that they sit around and do nothing, right? They just kind of sit in their woods and wait while the world passes around them, and other people are in trouble and they don't even notice, right? I mean, again, that's the sort of critique, right, of the elves. So the idea that, yikes, the idea that they don't do that, right? That they decide they're going to be proactive and they're going to go out and take the battle to the enemy. I like it. I like it. Okay, War Troll. See, now you don't have a shield on your left shoulder. You've got a blade on your left shoulder. So what is that? You just kind of lower your shoulder and run at people? I guess. Man, you just knocked them all at the same time. That was kind of cool from behind. Okay. Nice work there. Alright, so where do we go next? We go around this way, right? Up the stairs. How's everybody doing? Doing okay? Alright, good. I'm just going to have a little morale potion, if that's okay. More from behind. Oh, look, more from behind. Okay, I think the boss is right over there. Ooh. Look at the decorations along the top of the wall. You see those carvings beneath the wall? What does that suggest? Hang on. Orc, we're going to attack you from this side so I can... Never mind. Hey, wait, no. Up here. The boss is this way. There we go. Charge! Okay, Commander. So is that the Iron Crown? I mean, it looks like the Crown of the North, doesn't it? Like the Crown of Angmar? Is that the symbol of Dol Guldur? This crowny action here. Whoa. No, don't die, don't die, don't die. Come on, Moethrim, beat him up. Don't make me hide in plain sight. Okay. Whew. That was close. All right, Fuirgam, you guys have this. I'm about to come in. I'm about to come back. Don't worry. Here we go. Boom, take him down. Are you guys all proud that I remember to use my hide in plain sight? I bet you are, right? At least you really should be, because that's totally not a given. I went out of miniature guardian mode, right? Did you see that? Commander of the enemy has fallen. Rout any who remain. House Fuirgam, he's still alive. Okay. I think we got this now. We defeated the commander. Fuirgam is still surviving. We just gotta mop up now, right? Whew, that was a tense moment there. Hooray! Victory! Okay, with the fall of this cur, the orcs are broken and no strength of theirs can stay our advance until we stand athwart the gates of Dol Guldur itself. That's right. We're coming for Dol Guldur. The fort is ours, and the orcs have been sent reeling. Now we must make haste to claim the roads that lie between the Murk-Eves and the Necromancer's dark abode. I plan to make base amongst the ancient ruins of Eminlum, Gryfflet. Okay, sounds good. May fate bring us together there again, for the days ahead shall be consumed with tumult and pain ere we reach our final goal. Okay, right, I agree. We're in a hurry, but can we look around for a minute first? I mean, with that, who built this fortress, do you think? And this is an orc construction, obviously, right? I mean, the masonry is too neat for that, clearly. But see, this is what I'm talking about. These iron blade crown, this iron blade crown device, right? Which is everywhere. Here you can see it in better light. Right? What's up with this? What is that? Doesn't it look like a crown? That's a crown, right? It's a mean-looking crown. It's a pointy, bladed iron crown thing. Is this a symbol of Dol Guldur? Was this fortress made by the servants of Dol Guldur? I mean, it suggests so. Look at that. I mean, the keystone of the gateway, of the arch of the gate, right, has that carving or version of it on there. Is it a Mirkwood symbol? Oh, yeah, like every stone of the arch, indeed, has that set on it. So this is clearly not just a fortress that was taken over by the orcs, right, or by the bad guys. This was constructed by the bad guys, but more importantly, this banner. What is up with this banner? It's obviously an orc banner, right? You can tell on account of the skull, right? But it's a tree. It's a dead tree. More interestingly, with a full root system. So the Targash are apparently loosely translates to the clan of the well-rooted winter tree or something. I mean, this tree is unhealthy, right? So this is, I guess, a Mirkwood-based clan, and so we have a blasted, blackened tree, which looks as if the shadows of Mirkwood itself were choking it. But it's the root system that, I mean, it's appealingly symmetrical, right? The bare branch system up above and the root system underneath. But notice the detail. We've got like grass growing around this tree, right? There's like shrubberies. You rarely see orc banners with shrubberies in them. But here we are. I mean, like, they can't even draw straight lines around the edge of their banners, but they can do the grass, right, beneath the tree, and the complicated root systems. Anyway, that's really interesting. I've never seen, have we ever seen? I don't think we've ever seen any tribe of orcs take a tree to be their symbol, right? I mean, we've seen, like, wolves or bears, like various sort of carnivorous creatures. We've seen them have themselves, right, as their totems, like their own faces and wargs and things like that. But I don't think we've ever seen trees. But of course, Taurchash is obviously not, does not translate to anything involving trees. As of course, we all should be able to recognize one of the elements of that name, Hash, of course, which we know in the Black Speech means fire. It's one of the very few words of the Black Speech that's actually translated in the Lord of the Rings, so we all should know that. And of course, there's no fire unless Tower isn't Tower forest? It's the burned forest, right? That's probably it. So their banner is a tree that's been burned, right? So the flames have passed over it, and there it is bare. I like it. I think, yeah. That must be it. I like it. All right, Fuergam, I'm ready to travel now. I had to look around, had to check out the banner. You understand. All right, Alfirimbles. All right, Alfrimbles. I know there's no L but I want there to be a... Oh, is it... I like to think that you're the same elf who is all depressed before on the shelf. Not the shelf. You weren't an elf on the shelf. You're an elf on the step. Who is all sad over there, but now like she's worked off her hangover and she's now kneeling over here. But I don't think so. But it's another kneeling elf. But at least this one has the sense not to kneel near any radioactive fungus. All right, Alphirimbes. Alphirimbes. Alphir. It's got to be you got to pronounce that symbol. It can't be like Alphirim. Yeah, it's got to be Rimbes. Rimbes. Alphirimbes.
For good or ill,
okay.
We now have no choice but to embark upon this journey.
Well, you're second guessing Lord Kellenborn? Okay. Thanks in no small part to my efforts, right? Your advance upon Dol Guldur has been only lightly impeded. Yeah, it was no problem. There's much to be done before we reach the enemy, right? Gird yourself well. I'm girded. For the blackest of terrors yet stand before us. Gird yourself well. Does that mean I should get another cosmetic outfit? Whoa, look, I leveled up.
The Golden Host is ready now to begin the passage into Mirkwood.
That's right. We sure are. You've made the crossing and expelled the orcs, so it was Malethrim D-Day today, and we are all set. And you're still hoping it's not a mistake.
We have made the landing, but now the second party must cross.
Okay. Alright, so I gotta go over and get Mazog. Alright. I will go see to the preparations necessary. Alright, so here we are in the Murkeeves, ready to take off and head over there. Hey, Cowangoth, yeah, I'm gonna go back over and next week I'll have to do this, right? We'll have to pick this up next time. So we'll wait here at the docks. So is this a... no, it's not. See, my question was, this looks, of course, like the rings of a tree, right? So I was like, is this actually... Because there are trees this large, but no, you can see the boards, the joints of the boards, right? So this is just assembled by boards to look like the cross-section of the bole of a tree. B-O-L-E, not bole of a tree. Good. Nice. All right. So Gryfflet is gonna stand in the bullseye here, and he's gonna wait for next time. Look at the blinding sun coming up over Mirkwood. All right. Thanks everybody for being encouraging and helpful as I established the foothold of the Golden Host in Mirkwood. Really excited to make some progress across Mirkwood and see if we can get this ill-fated Mazog expedition underway next time. Don't forget Exploring the Lord of the Rings. If you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, I encourage you to. It's over on Signum University's Twitch channel, so twitch.tv/SignumU. The class is at 9:30 p.m. on Tuesdays. For those of you who are in Europe and dislike, for some reason, getting up at 2:30 or 3:30 in the morning for class, take heart. We have made arrangements. I've made arrangements to visit a couple of the European servers soon, and so we'll be doing. I'll be doing the Exploring the Lord of the Rings class on a Europe-friendly time on a couple of occasions within the next few weeks. So we're in Gladden this coming week, and then I think we're back on Landreval the week after that. But then I think after that we're going to be heading over to some of the EU servers, and so we'll have the class earlier in the day. But thanks everybody. I see several of you who have been enjoying the Exploring the Lord of the Rings class. Thanks for joining me. It's been awesome fun. Tell your friends. Get them to watch. We've had an awesome turnout on the Twitch channel. We've had over 200 people every week, 400 people the first week, which was astounding, over 200 every week joining us with the class, not to mention the people who are doing it asynchronously. So it's been a good turnout and a really fun group. I think we're going to develop a really neat community there. So I hope that you guys will be able to join us. Our field trip this week on Gladden, we're gonna do some more Shire touring. So we'll be back in the Shire for our field trip on Gladden. It's going to be fun. So again, that's Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Join me on twitch.tv/SignumU, and I'll see you here on Lotro Stream next week as Gryfflet carries on and invades Mirkwood. So thanks very much, everybody. Bye now.